Okay, so we now have the homepage sort of done. Obviously, what I would do is finish it a little bit more, but I'm just going to show you how to make your subpages. It's actually very simple. You can do it a couple different ways, um, but what we'll do is we're just going to copy our index page to make our subpages. Okay, so in your whatever your file folder, what is this one called? File browser. I don't know. Whatever your thing is here. What you're going to do is you're just literally going to take your index and just copy and paste it. So Control C, Control V, Control V, and then just take each one and name them what they should be. So I think we had, what was it? Features. Actually, don't put a capital in it though. Features, and I think the other one was pricing. I can't remember what the names of them are. And pricing. Not like that either. Pricing. Okay. So features and pricing. And okay. And then what we want to do is open up both of these. So if you go to here, I'm just going to move this over a little bit so you can see if I pull this thing over. You'll see they don't. Oh, okay. Sometimes they automatically pop up in here. Sometimes they do not when you create files and things. If they don't, you can click on this little thing and that will refresh the folder section. But they should just pop up right here. You can also just double click on them. Either way, it should work. But what we're going to want to do is just double click on our features HTML. And we'll also double click on our pricing. So let's go to features first. And what I want to do is more or less get rid of everything but our nav bar section. So I have the div class container fluid, and this is my nav bar. Let's pull this over here because we don't need it anymore. This is my nav bar section. So it starts right here. Let's see. So we have a row. I'm going to click on the row. So the row ends here. I put these nice little spaces in between. And then basically everything down I don't need because these aren't going to be part of it. So I'm just going to grab all of this all the way down. And we will delete all the way to here. So basically, there's the container fluid, and I'm just going to go ahead and have that go all the way up there. Okay, so now you see the container fluid goes to container fluid, and then this part is the row, then the column, then the actual nav bar, and all that stuff. And that's all that's there. Now what I'm going to do is after that, I'm going to go ahead and do a new container. So div class container, because I'm just going to do it like before we had the different containers for each. And then in here, I would put the actual content. So for instance, we'll go ahead and do a div class row, right? And oops, enter, enter. And I'm just going to tab that in. And then inside of that will be a div class and then we'll do col dash size what we're doing. It's S of just 12. We'll just do 12. It's fine. Like so. So that'll be the full 12. And then inside of there, I'm just going to do something so I know what it is. So we're just going to say H1 and we'll just say that this, okay, the cone features. Okay. So it'll be something like that. And then at the top here, where we just had homepage layout, which shouldn't have been that on the index, we'll write cone features, okay? So basically, I left the container fluid with the nav bar in it, but I got rid of the carousel that was part of that container. And then I just deleted the rest of it until we got to the script. I created a new container. And now all I would do is after this one, create another row and put in my content in another row, put in how many rows or how many columns, and then my content to those, and so on and so forth. But basically, you would build out this page for the rest of them. And what I'm going to do in order to do my pricing is I'm actually just going to Control A, Control C, Control A is select all, Control C is copy. I'm going to go to pricing, Control A, Control V to paste. And then instead of features, this will just be we'll call it cone pricing. Okay. And we'll go down here and also call it cone pricing. All right, and I'm just putting these H1s in here. Obviously, this doesn't have to be here, but you're going to want to just do another container, and then again, do your rows and columns just like we did when we first created it. And now, if we were to preview them, you should see, hopefully, okay, went over there, more or less, oops, an empty empty site, right? It'll just say the title. That's all we've done. And that's it, right? So it just has the menu, because obviously you want the menu to pretty much be the same on all of them. Not all websites do that, but for the most part, that's typically what you see. So you're just going to want to do something sort of like that before you put in more content. Okay, so now we have our index and we have our two other subpages. Okay, but they're not hooked up. If I click on any of them, you're going to see they don't do anything. They go nowhere. Okay. So we'll hook them up in the next one.